Freddie Gibbs. I went to that tour.
Yeah, I was talking about going with my friend as well, but we didn't wind up going.
I didn't get an invite, but it's all right.
Let's talk the Buncha Barz. Buncha, how you doing? We were talking about on the way here. We were like, damn, you could really rap, like especially Chiv was saying. Yeah.
Thank y'all. I kind of listen to like, all right, more of the old school sound. That's something that I resonate with.
Like Griselda, and I like Griselda. I do like Griselda, but you're not grooving to Griselda. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Unless
right.
you're like kind of a sadistic serial killer.
Right.
Man, that's
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
pretty dark to dance to, man.
What is FLOSSES?
You know,
You know,
you
FLOSSES,
want a demonstration?
I can't because I really can't do it.
I mean, I'll
You could try it out. Yeah,
Talking about.
It's like, oh.
There's the backpack kid.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the mic check. I'm Jack, and I'm here with Chiv, of course. Shout out to Chiv. We're here for another podcast, or we've been grinding with the podcast. We got big things coming up, as I've told you guys. I mean, Christmas is already here. I mean, how do you feel about Christmas, huh? Favorite holiday?
I would say Christmas is probably my favorite holiday. Came fast this year, though. December. Closed my eyes, opened them again. It's December 20th, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, what do you like best about Christmas? In the movie, the Santa, the gifts, the movies? What is it? You could say the gifts.
I like the music, and I really like giving gifts. That's why I was excited to give you a gift today. We're gonna do a gift exchange, but Jack, he forgot and he didn't give me a present.
I didn't forget, guys. Santa's sleigh was a little delayed. Amazon's telling me, so Chiv's gift will be here in the next episode. We'll exchange some gifts. I got something I'm really excited to give them. So
I'm
tune in for
I'm
that.
excited to give you your gift.
Tune in for that, guys. And I mean, big announcements coming in a few weeks. And so let's get into it, guys, because we got a big guest today someone I don't even want to wait to announce. We got a rapper from Philly. You know, you guys might have remembered we interviewed Deige a while ago, a couple episodes ago, and he was telling us about his Neon Collective. Well, of course, I said, look, we got to find more people from this collective. I like what they're doing. I like the music they're putting out. So let's talk to Buncha Barz. Buncha, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourselves? Everything good?
I'm good, man. I'm glad you popped out. Like I said, Philly's far from New York. Even farther than Deige. Last time we told Deige you popped out far, but you came even farther. So I appreciate it.
Anytime. Shout out to y'all both, man. Thank y'all for having me here, and thank you for having me and my boy Deige here as well, man. We're really honored and excited to be here. So
I appreciate you watching the last episode, not saying I'm not giving these guys a chance. You know what I mean? Like these guys. Like I'm glad you clearly at least felt a certain way about the episode to at least do an interview yourself. So thank you for agreeing to it. And I want to talk about the EP, obviously, you just put out, or like a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And it seemed to be more of like a personal EP. So I kind of want you to like lay the groundwork of like what went behind this EP so we could talk about it, you know?
Yeah, so thank you, man. This EP, Everything Must Grow, has been in the works for a while now. Honestly, shoot, I can't even remember how long me and Deige have been working on this project, but I'll never forget when we were in college, when we were starting out, I think it was junior year, and he said, I want to produce your first project. So I said, all right, let's get working on it. Let's keep doing it. And for me, I'm like a perfectionist when it comes to stuff. So we've made so many songs together, and I can't remember how many songs exactly we made, but I'd be like, oh, I like this, or I'm going to scratch this, that, and the third. But when it came to this project, I was thinking about ideas for what the title is going to be for the longest time. But as I went through life experiences, getting married, seeing the loss of key people in my life, family members in my life that I love and hold dearly to my heart, just things that were going on in my life that were prominent, I said I want to put an EP around that's going to be personal and talk about life experiences, the hard times in my life that I went through. So that's why when I culminated these 6 songs for this project, I said, let me do that. So all these songs are all experiences that I went through personally that I wanted to share to the world. And my biggest thing with my music, I want to make sure people can relate to it. And I want to make something that, people can be like, hey, I've heard this, like I've been through this before. And the fact that I'm hearing this from somebody else's lens and seeing this through somebody else's lens, it means a lot.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, and you talked about, obviously on the EP, you talked about the fact you lost your grandma, so sorry for your loss, of course.
You, man.
And
Thank
your dog too, which, of course, that's also even hard-hitting as well.
Thank you.
So, like, how did you, like, I guess, like, take that and, like, was it difficult for you to kind of put that into, like, a song to kind of be so open, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's kind of tough to be as open, especially in music. So was that tough for you? And
it was definitely tough because that year, it was 2017. That was one of the hardest years of my life. I went through a lot that year, like dealing with like personal stuff at school, and then also on top of that, losing my dog and my grandmother. So being able to talk about it was tough, but I knew this was something that I wanted to honor my grandmother and her legacy in music. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep her memory alive through making this song. So that, and I also have a couple other songs that are unreleased that I talked about her as well. And losing my grandfather too was another big thing because like they kept the family together. Like I always hear like the grandmother and the grandfather, like they're like the roots of the family. So thinking about the times that we all had, I was like, you know what, let me put this into a song and just make sure that they're remembered the correct way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's even more insane. You lost even more, and obviously you also talk about some other stuff on the EP, and it clearly came from a place from like like you just said, from struggle, and a lot of people could relate to it and things. And I want to talk about the sound too, because you kind of give a more like old school kind of sound on it as well. Which I like, of course. Like I think you sounded really good on the beats. We were talking about on the way here. We were like, "Damn, you could really rap." Like especially Chiv was saying,
Thank y'all.
And we fucked with it. Like we
Definitely got
always,
a bunch of bars for sure.
Yeah, shout out. Buncha Barz got a bunch of bars. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
That. I love that. Thank you.
So with that being said, like what were some of like your inspirations for the sound? Because it definitely sounds more like old school rather than maybe typically not like a Playboy Cardi or a Juice WRLD. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna talk about newer hip hop.
Honestly, like I have a lot of inspirations when it comes to music, but just to name a few, like Kendrick Lamar, shout out to Kendrick Lamar, shout out Common, Tyler, the Creator. Try to think of some other. There's so many artists I listen to. Freddie Gibbs. Like there's different people that have like I've taken different aspects from, and just hearing. I like to listen to music that is not really like mainstream all the time. Like don't get me wrong, I love mainstream as well, but I kind of put myself in a different bag for this project, and also like. I kind of, on my own time as well, listen to like, all right, more of the old school sound. That's something that I resonate with a lot, and I feel like I have an old soul. So I wanted to put that aspect into this project, and I want to bring that boom bap, that hip hop sound back into the mainstream as well. So even like listening to Griselda and stuff like that. But shout out to them as well. But being like a hip hop head and growing up as a hip hop head, like I was always told, hey, you're an old soul. Like you love listening to old school music, like even going back to the 90s, listening to boom bap rap. But that's something that I wanted to make sure was put into this project and make sure, hey, I'm gonna bring that sound back, make sure people know, yo, that boom bap rap is still alive. For people that love hip hop and love that 90s, early 2000s sound, I want to make sure that's still there for them. So, and that's something that's big with me too.
Let me ask you this: do you think that it's possible for that sound, that boom bap sound, to be kind of like more like to the point where it's like the #1 mainstream? You know what I'm saying? Like like it's being played at like kind of clubs and stuff like that. We don't really see that as much today, but like, do you think it could ever get back to that point?
I actually do. I think that it could definitely get back to that point. And like we have like Griselda, Westside Gunn, Benny, and Conway that's really pushing the agenda of that boom bap rap, and hearing that sound. And even when you go to clubs and you listen to like them playing like old school stuff like Nelly or old Jay-Z songs, like when I hear that, it makes me feel good because it tells me that it still has a place in the club and people still have a taste for that music. So I definitely think that's something that could be brought back. And I think, hey, if I could be part of that, that's great. But I definitely think that's something that can be played in the clubs again, for sure.
And I think the stuff that you're putting out, it does remind me of like, yo, like you can kind of groove to it. It's not just like Griselda, and I like Griselda. I do like Griselda, but you're not grooving a Griselda. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like kind of a sadistic serial killer, man. That's pretty dark to dance to, man. That's some pretty dark shit. Like talking about the body in the trunk and you're just doing a floss. Yo, Chiv, could you floss actually or no? Like the
I
dance?
honestly cannot.
Well, I don't know. I can't floss either, and I've seen like a lot of people can floss. How about you? Could you floss? Or
what is flossing?
You want to demonstrate, Chiv?
I can't because I can't. I really can't do it.
I mean, I'll demonstrate.
You could try it out. Yeah, I really can't.
Like it's like you do this, you do one of these.
That's like you're like swinging your arms.
You bring this. Oh no, look, the mic is falling. And then you bring you go like this. I don't know. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's like swinging your arms like.
It's like,
I know what you're talking about.
It's like
that was the backpack kid.
Yes, exactly, the backpack kid.
Neither did I. I never knew that's what they called it.
I think they called it the floss when they brought it into Fortnite. I think that's where they changed. They didn't want to give them the credit.
Am I exposing myself as a Fortnite head?
Oh, low key. Yeah.
You play Fortnite or what?
No, but there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, I fuck with Fortnite, man.
Yeah.
I never really
I fuck
played
with The
Fortnite.
Simpsons. You never played Fortnite.
I never played Fortnite.
But the Fortnite's always evolving. They got The Simpsons in there.
I know.
Look, I feel like it's like a once a year type basis. You know, like you go back on the game after not going on in a while. Check up what's going on.
That Battle Royale, man, it's taking over everything. Like Call of Duty now, you got, I think Battlefield's doing it too. So, I mean, it's nice to see that the Battle Royale games are becoming a big thing. But I don't know. I never could get into Fortnite.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Me neither.
I just couldn't do
I
it.
just couldn't do it.
Is it the building?
I think it's the building. I think that was why it always held me back. Like every time I went to play, people was building stuff. I'm like, I can't do all that.
Yeah. I think I agree with that because it's like building, and then I see the map shrinks. I think as time goes on in the game, I'm like, wow. Like I watch my cousins play it, and it always looks interesting, but I could just never get into it myself. I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, I think with Fortnite, like, I think the best thing is just companionship. So I feel like we should all just squad up or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And play, because I think that is what you guys have been missing is the companionship. You know, I've always had the companionship. You know, I've always been in a duo or trio or squad. But I feel like what we got here, the chemistry is enough to get us some dubs. I don't know, guys.
On the game, yeah.
Yeah, but back to your music though, because you know, like I could talk about Fortnite all day. I mean, you know, maybe who knows? Maybe you'll get the Fortnite skin. We see Playboy Cardi with the Fortnite skin. Everybody's getting Fortnite skins these days.
Everybody. I think Kim Kardashian is the newest one I've seen.
That is. When are we gonna get a Fortnite skin?
Hopefully soon. You know, listen, hit us up if you want the Mic Check exclusive Fortnite skin.
I'll do it for free.
We'll have to come up with a dance too. You know, do an emote.
Yeah. What would be our pickaxe?
The mic.
Yeah, it's got to be like a microphone.
It's got to be the mic,
right? Or something like
for
that.
sure.
Wow. Well, okay. Well, also I wanted to ask you this.
Sure.
Because we were talking before, and I know that you have like a lot of like, and you also just said before, like old school rappers, and obviously Kendrick, Tyler, they're like newer. So like, what about like older school rappers do you like? Do you see a difference from today's rappers? And what are some of those rappers that you feel like you should be highlighted from back then?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I feel like rappers from back then, like you're seeing a lot of rappers now from even back then, and I'll start naming some that are putting out projects today. You see Nas did a whole run with the whole Mass Appeal, Big L, Raekwon, Mobb Deep, all these albums that are coming out, and you're seeing the legends, or you know, they still got that lyrical ability. They're still showing their wordplay. They're still putting out, you know, music that people want to hear. And I feel like, especially with Nas, when you heard all the Hit Boy projects, I mean, Hit Boy, shout out to both of them, man, incredible projects. You're hearing that sound is coming back. You're hearing people want to hear more of that lyrical rap, a lot of rap that has a message to it. So hearing that and hearing it in today's society. I talk about it with a bunch of like friends. I talked to Deige about it. Talked to my boy Rashid about it. I talked to a bunch of people about it. But it's nice to hear that it's back in demand. So I think bringing back that storytelling, bringing back that Boombap Sound that you used to hear. Trying to think of some other artists that have dropped projects. It's like so many people, but
yeah, I mean, like Alfredo too.
Alfredo too was fantastic. Dude, Alchemist is such an incredible producer.
He is, dude.
And people, it's funny because I feel like people don't recognize that he raps and he's rapped for a while.
Yeah.
But to hear him come back and now have verses, like when he did his verses with Larry June and 2 Chainz, I can't believe I don't remember the song, but Life is Beautiful was incredible as well.
Yeah.
But
and that whole record with Hit Boy too.
Yes.
That whole thing.
That whole thing with Hit Boy was
the
amazing.
The whole record in total.
And just to see, you know, people can produce, but everybody doesn't know that there's producers that rap too. So to see Hit Boy and Alchemist do a project together, that to me was one of the best albums that came out this year. So listening to them do their thing, it brings back hope, man. And it brings a lot of hope. And plus, that sound to me, there was a lot of samples, but at the same time, you heard a lot of like that. To me, it was boom bap, but as well as like you kind of let the samples and the melodies carry the beat for you, which was pretty cool. And just to hear some tracks be laid back and to hear the verses on those tracks is pretty sick. So.
No, I like the boom bap style a lot as well. Like the Nas album that you just mentioned, I've been talking about like for maybe a week or two. I've been saying, like it's a pretty insane album in my opinion. I heard, what did you say? People on Twitter are saying it's a bad album or something?
I saw people on Twitter saying it's pretty trash. I haven't heard it, but I heard people saying, it was bad.
A lot of people were talking about New York State of Mind Part 3. And New York State of Mind Part 2 is one of my favorite Nas songs off the I Am album. But I would just say, like, to me, I really like New York State of Mind Part 3. I know like people have controversy over the beat, but I like how to me it's more of like a classic feel when you listen to it versus like the first two are kind of like more gritty. He gets into, like personal street life talk, but in the third song to me, he gets more into like New York lifestyle. And or from his eyes, New York lifestyle. And I really appreciate that. Like I appreciate hearing like, even with Jay-Z, like if you listen to him now, he teaches you more about life and the game and how to get money. Versus back then, I feel like he was talking more about, and I know Deige is more of a Jay-Z fan than I am, but so he can correct me if I'm wrong, but he talked more to me about like the streets and what life was like back then, and now it's more like hearing his progression through music and progression through life and being a businessman and teach you how to get money. So I feel like both Nas and Jay-Z have both done the same thing. They've grown up from what they were doing in the streets or whatever the street life they were talking about, and seeing what they are now as business people who, they've lived that lifestyle. Now they're talking about how to get money and do things like that. It's pretty cool to see the transitions that people go through.
Yeah, you can't expect them to be rapping like how they were 30 years ago. It's completely different.
It stops
life.
being as relatable to them as well. I mean,
exactly.
They really talk about their real life in those songs, and as their life changes, that's what we're gonna start talking about as well. I think you could even see that with Jay-Z early on. He starts talking about rapping at some point.
Yes.
It's like by his second, third album, his songs are about how he's a rapper,
exactly,
and less about what he was doing beforehand.
Exactly. So like I think it's pretty cool. Like you can't expect artists to continue to talk about the same things throughout their lives. Like even I remember Tyler the Creator was talking about it, and I think people wanted him to kind of go more towards his dark like Goblin and my gosh, why can't I think of it? Wolf off the top of my head, like going back to those days. But artists evolve. They go through things. Like look at Kanye, look at Tyler. They evolve over time. So it's like, I get it. We're always going to appreciate the older music for what it was. But even still hearing some of this new stuff, I know it divides the fan base. But even hearing some of their newer music, I appreciate the fact that they have grown. Like they're experimenting on new elements and new territories that they haven't experimented in before. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and fans can be so like particular, like they want this sound and that's that. If you're not doing it, it's like you're not happy. You know what I mean? And like there's so many different things, and there's been tons of experimental things that maybe they didn't experiment, they wouldn't have found a totally new lane that would have been super successful for them. So,
exactly.
I mean, I think you got to experiment things. I mean, what about you? How is your experimental levels like? Like how deep do you experiment with different maybe genres, whether maybe just rap styles? Like how is your experimental process?
That's a good question. Honestly, I've really been the same when it came to like my beat selections. Like I definitely want more old school sounding beats. I tell Deige that all the time. But I have had beats that were more like new school, and I've tried different flows. I've even tried UK drill. I did one song with that with a buddy of mine, but we never dropped the song. But I actually really like my verse on there, which is funny. But I've definitely tried to tap into different lanes. But it's something that I will still be open to doing. But I still love just that old school 90s type style of type.
Damn,
of
that'd
beats.
be crazy to hear you on that beat. That would have been that's crazy, man. Would you ever release that or what?
I was thinking about it. I'm gonna talk to my friend about it and see if he would ever want to release it.
You gotta definitely play it for us, man. I'm curious.
I would love
about
to hear
this.
that. Yeah.
I think I still got it in the files, man. So he knows who he is. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Wow, man, what the hell? I mean, the whole drill. I couldn't even imagine that based on hearing that.
I know, right?
That's crazy. Is it like? Are you talking about like? Well, you know what? Don't talk about it because it'll come out eventually. But I have questions about it. I'll ask you later. But no, I mean, like I said, like I agree with you on the experimental in terms of the beat, but it just sounds like not necessarily genre. It's just kind of like different beat selection / rapping styles is kind of the extent you go towards experimenting. Like, have you ever gone to like a different genre at all, or never anything like crazy like that? Like
is
country?
Is there a bunch of funk albums coming out?
I haven't touched country, but I think I do like when you hear some like rap infused with country, like and also you're even hearing like rap and gospel, which I think is really cool.
Oh yeah.
So I do like how some of these experiments are working out. Like I think I heard sexy drill now. Like you have stuff like that, which is pretty.
What
cool.
is sexy drill?
This man's been knows it more than I do.
Come on, explain. You want to hop? Why don't you say what's up, Deige?
You want to explain?
Giga guest appearance.
Yeah, you can come.
Because Deige taps more into it than I do. So
shout out to Deige.
I mean,
come on, you guys know.
I mean, I feel like sexy drills, like all the Cashflow Bay music, like like kind of like the way like the the beats hitting like the Cash Cobain type beats. I think he created Sexy Drill.
Okay,
That's like that dancing.
Yeah,
the dancing
I wouldn't have
drill.
thought that was like
yeah.
a drill, but
That was like the evolution.
I get what you're saying.
It has
though.
like drill elements because like the counter snares and all that. But like at the end of the day, it's like you can't call it original drill.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
That was definitely a change.
Yes. Shout out to Deige, bro. You're back on the pod, and go check out Light Pack Volume 2. I fucked with that.
Oh yeah.
So
Appreciate you.
go
Real
check that
one.
out.
Real one.
Yeah.
You can come back, Buncha, now that his explanation is out.
But
So what do you think about
besides-
Sexy Drill now?
I like it. Like I'm starting to hear it more often, and I actually really like it. Would I tap into it? I don't know, but I actually like. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. But I do like the sound of it. And then it's like you could hear it in the clubs too. So it's like it's kind of groovy. I like it. I like it a lot.
Besides the Sexy Drill, I mean, I know you're from Philly, but what about Jersey Club? You be listening to Jersey
Yes.
Club remixes?
I do, and I'm like, we're so close. Because we're literally right across the bridge.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't have a choice but to hear it. But I actually do really like it a lot.
I know people from Jersey, like these. You like Jersey Club? Yeah. People from Jersey always, they're like, it's so surprising to me. It's so ubiquitous. Like I only just heard it a couple years ago. I really never heard it.
Yeah, I don't
And then
really know like what is
I
Jersey
just
Club? Like
asked-
how would you describe it?
You know how there's one sound effect. It's like a squeaking sound effect, and it's just that's it. That's,
I got it.
and it's just
bro.
it's just a remix. You got a heavy kick, and then you got like a squeaking sound effect, and it's just that's it. And it goes over to like a regular song. It's a remix. But I didn't hear it until a couple years ago. You know, there's a remixes on TikTok going crazy.
Yes.
And then I asked people from Jersey, and they're like, "Yeah, of course, grew up on that. Love Jersey Drill, Jersey Club." I'm like, "What? Never heard this before."
That's another thing you touched on. Like I'm starting to hear a lot of remixes on TikTok, and even if it's Jersey Club or even just mashing different songs together, like I think that's really cool that I'm starting to hear some of this.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
I
would
agree.
never picture these lyrics on this beat, and it's really cool.
I like them. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the TikTok mashups a lot. I mean, some of them are pretty bad, to be honest. But you know, it's experimenting. You know, experimenting.
Right.
Sometimes it's not going to work out that well. But no, sometimes like it'll be. You would never think of it.
Right.
Or they do. A lot of people do like orchestration. Like they'll take. You know, like there was a big one with Wish by Trippie Redd and Diplo, and they did like a whole orchestra part. It's like violins instead of the original sample. I mean, like I love seeing stuff like that. Like seeing people take the songs and like build on it. That's why I love sampling so much.
I do too. I like that sampling is a big thing nowadays. And I had a conversation with my uncle a few weeks back, and he was saying we were talking about it because he was like, yeah, that's why a lot of rappers nowadays, or it feels like even you, he's like, you like to tap into that old school sound because, that's why y'all keep sampling that stuff. But I'm like, listen, we pay respects to the classic songs that came out back in the day. Like you hear a lot of this sampling. Yes, there's a lot of it going on, but people love to hear it again. Like sometimes listening to one of your favorite songs from the 90s, hearing it sampled again, like it brings back memories. And also you're putting an old school twist and a new school twist and mashing it together. And I've heard a lot of songs that really come out really well. So I think it's really nice to see people paying respects to music that came out back in the day and hearing something that's sampled. Like I've heard, I'm trying to think off the top of my head what I've heard sampled. Geez, what is it? Girl, I like.
Yeah.
I think the original is Lenny Williams. Lenny Williams. I think, girl, Jesus, I can't remember. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but yeah, just listening to like I've heard that sampled several times.
Well, sampling is like just like it's pretty like it's not super new, obviously. Like I
Right.
don't want to talk about in terms of, but I'm talking about in terms of grand scheme of music that's been around for thousands of years.
Right.
New, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a new idea, like
Right.
I said. And I feel like a lot of people, some people aren't as comfortable with it. Like a few weeks ago, we were talking about sampling, and I forgot with who, but we were talking about it. And my dad saw the episode. He wasn't as happy with the sampling as much. Like we were like on this end of the spectrum, he was on
Right.
this other end of the spectrum. But like I said, like he looks at it as like, oh, respect. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
giving it respect, which of course I would say, like sampling something isn't necessarily disrespecting it, but that's what I'm saying. It's just an evolving thing, sampling, and I think we're gonna see more and more. And like, yeah, shout out to the kids grinding, making these little these remix edits.
Yeah, like
or-
the
Yeah.
mashups, all the TikTok remixes.
The newest one I'm hearing is like there's a dance from Saints Row 2 that they're doing Where the Party At. They're mixing Where the Party At and Slow Down together. That's the newest one I've heard. And I was like, wait, this sounds really good
That's
together.
cool.
And now I remember it was Lenny Williams, Cause I Love You that I was talking about. I've heard that sampled a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm like, I just love seeing these new mashups. And like you said, some of them aren't good, but a lot of them, I've heard a lot of good ones, but I've heard some of them like, why did you put these all together?
So. You just were bored at home. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, there is no thought process at all.
That's part of it, though. You know, some of them's got to be bad for the good ones to be there. You know, you got to play around with it.
Exactly.
So
some kid is grinding, making these. You know what I'm saying? It's like some kid, he's like, oh shit. Like, he's gonna look back in a few years, like, oh, that was bad. That was a bad one. But maybe those are the future producers, the future. You never know. Well, or maybe they're just that's all they're doing. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
They're the DJs. You know, it's
DJs.
It's the old school. It's like the DJs.
This is all just concept. I wanted to bring it up because, like I said, there definitely is some people that do disagree heavily about the sampling thing. That like I said, like don't that aren't happy about it and stuff. Like, I think it's like new. Like that's what I'm saying. It's new. I think this is something that's like you can't compare it to the past. It's like this might be where it's going, and just like music will always be like that. There's probably going to be who knows what AI, who knows what new stuff will even come with that we might look at as what the hell is that, and then the next generation's like, oh, what the hell? That's the norm. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how life goes. So I mean.
And like touching on that, and touching on like the bad ones too, and it was something that I thought about, and even I think I've said it before, but I've heard someone else say it too. Just because we don't like it, somebody else might like it, and that's the beauty of music. Music expands to so many different people, and it's nice because you get to see you have audiences that like one style of music versus audiences like another style of music, or maybe they like this style of rap or that style of rap that might be more suited to them. But it's nice to see that everybody has something that they can cater to. So
there's always something for someone out there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Whether you're like drill, UK drill, or country music. Shout out. There's always going to be something for you to put on. What is like the best way in your opinion to like discover new music? Because I feel like I see a lot of people talking about this, like, like how do I discover new music? Like how do I see people, because I feel like now it's very much label controlled, and it's like, you're getting advertised the big dogs. But how do you go about like finding like music that's not really listened to, or like how do you go about that?
What's crazy? I feel like social media plays a big part in that. Like TikTok is where I really find a lot of my songs, like that I put in my playlist. Like I found an artist named Milksy not too long ago. He was actually my top listened to artist in 2025, which is crazy. But like I'll hear songs, I'm like, what is this? And then next thing you know, you go and you're looking at the artist catalog, and then they become one of your new favorite artists. So I think TikTok is definitely a big one. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram that'll find new songs, even playing video games sometimes. Like I've found a good amount of artists playing like NBA 2K. So it's different ways to find it, but definitely social media is the biggest one in my
opinion. Yeah, and that's how it's changing. Like the scrolling, that's how now we're seeing all musicians now. They're making content so that they could be found on getting scrolled, and that their song could get played. So yeah, I could see that as well. I was gonna say shout out. Spotify has some good stuff too. Like,
Spotify. You ever go to the record store, dig in the crates, look for the oldest record you could find?
I haven't done that in so long. Jeez, like I remember when I was a kid and I used to do that. Like I love going through records.
Yeah.
But I get excited now when I go to the store and I see vinyls at certain stores like Target, Walmart, or Urban Outfitters, and I see like, different vinyls. It's exciting to see that. And I have quite a few friends that are into keep buying new records and vinyls and stuff, and it's making me want to do it. So it kind of brings me back to those days as a kid, looking through the vinyls, and looking through the records, and seeing what's coming out and what's new.
I used to collect a lot of vinyls as well, but I feel like they like take up space. You know what I think is actually the way that I think people should go about this? Collecting cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Hot take. Because look, you buy a little tape. I have one at home. You could put the little cassette in. And then the cassette tapes are also a lot smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they sell. I don't have one, but I definitely want to buy one. It's like a shelf. It's like like a mini shelf. It's like a little small box, but you could put them in, and they look neatly in there. But I think that's a lot better than vinyl's getting thrown out here. This and that. And vinyls are a lot more expensive too.
The thing for the vinyl, well, the first argument when it first came back was people were saying that it has a better sound quality. That was always the argument. Was like when everything went to digital, people were like vinyl has the best sound quality. I mean, I don't know. I personally don't care.
I've heard that too, though.
But yeah, people say it. And the other thing though is that when you're like really digging through the crates, it's stuff that was never reissued on cassette. I mean, this is stuff that was only released on vinyl in a physical format, never made it to digital, never made it to cassette, never made it to CD. So that's the only problem with that. That's why like a lot of people who really have large record collections have record collections from like 1958. You know what I mean? they don't have cassettes.
Now you're
of
making
those.
me feel like I got FOMO with the records.
Well, see, now you understand why people collect records instead of cassettes. Like that's what it is that there's certain stuff you just can't get. That's where, you get the samples like the Alchemist, right? Talk about the Alchemist. That's what he does. He goes to used record stores. That's how he gets those samples. That's why you can't find those samples anywhere.
I think Tyler does the same thing.
Yeah.
I was at the concert in Brooklyn not too long ago for the Chromacopia tour, and he was going through records, which I thought was pretty cool. And like he was just showing us different records, and he was teasing his albums. So it was funny because I'm mad that I went to the Thursday show instead of the Friday show because that's when he announced Don't Tap That Glass.
Yeah.
But it was just cool to see, okay, like you're seeing artists like go through records and look through different things. I think Ninth Wonder does that as well.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's why the samples are so rare. It's because they exist in this physical format. And if you own this vinyl, you have the sample. If you don't have it. You can't find it on YouTube, can't find it anywhere. And that's where they get these samples from. So that's why people like to do it. And
yeah, I didn't even know. Like, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that it was that deep. So you see, I'm learning shit on the pod.
Now you got to start collecting. Now you got to make the space for it. You got to get the big wall with all the cubes that you just put the records in. Like,
we're learning something new every day.
The studio. We'll get the studio.
Get the studio. Line it with vinyls.
Let me ask you this, because you did bring up Don't Tap the Glass. That's obviously like the year's ending. Mm-hmm. I think it's a fair question. Let me ask you, what are your thoughts on that album?
I loved it. Shout out to Tyler. And it's something that's different. I really like the fact that somebody pointed this out to me, and I resonated with this because they said this album is for those who can't dance. And I love the fact that he said, yo, like this album, we just want you to move. Like, I just want you to move. Like, you got to, like, this album is best listened to if you're just moving around doing whatever you're doing. And I was like, dang, that comment got to me because I was like, I feel like for me personally, I'm like, I feel like I got 3 left feet, not 2. But the fact that I felt like I took that comment, resonated with it, and listened to the album, it gave me more of an appreciation for it. So
did you move when you were listening to it?
I did.
Yeah, you were walking around.
Like I was cleaning the house, doing different things. I did. I was like, wow, I got a different
I was at the
appreciation
gym
for it.
Listening to it. I listened to it as well. Moving around, like
Dude,
you said.
I gotta do that too. I gotta try listening to it at the gym because I think I'm gonna have a different appreciation.
No, but I like that album, and I'm not like I don't listen to a lot of Tyler the Creator, but I like that album a lot. That was one of my like top albums. I was like, oh, I listened to it, and maybe it was because I'm moving around. I'm kind of curious if I were sitting down how I would feel, but I was impressed with it, especially like you said. The announcement came like out of nowhere. It was like all that Friday show. He announces it, and then a couple of days later it comes out. So it definitely was good. What other highlight albums do you have like from this year? From other artists.
Deige and I were talking about this on the train. We
were talking about it with Deige on the last pod.
It's so many good albums that came out this year, but I definitely got Clips. Let God Sort Them Out is definitely up there. I have this whole list. That I got. Earl Sweatshirt's Live, Laugh, Love is on there.
That's a good album.
I put Chance the Rapper's Starline. I heard
that was good.
I really love that album. I felt like to hear, like, I feel like with his last album,
I got like hated on.
And I was like, dang, like I listened to it, I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite. I really loved the Coloring Book mixtape. I really loved that one. So to hear Starline, to hear him mesh his old school sound and the new school sound like that he did together, it was really good. So I definitely got Starline up there. Navy Blue, I think it's The Sword and the Soaring, his new album.
Yeah, that
Navy
album's
Blue.
so good.
I love
the Navy Blue album. That he really has a progression. Like
yes.
He really came into his own. I mean, he's always been solid, but this one, like, he lyrically, his flow, like, he really came into it on this one. I think blown away. Listen to that.
And I love listening to him because I feel like he gets very personal with his music. And I found out about him through Earl Sweatshirt, so that's funny.
Yeah.
So once I listened to his catalog, I was like, wow, he's such an amazing artist to listen to. So
sorry, what the hell?
It's all good.
Addicted to you.
But yeah,
this Fly is making an appearance on the podcast.
I know, right?
Shout out to the Fly.
But yes, and I'm trying to think. Oh, Alfredo too. Freddie Gibbs. I went to that tour. Oh my goodness, that tour was amazing.
Yeah, I was talking about going with my friend as well. But we didn't wind up going. But I think he was actually not here. That was why. But we were talking about going. It would have been far.
I didn't get an invite, but it's all right.
Hey, well, that was about the extent of the convo. So. But we should have gone, honestly.
I know.
I didn't know you fucked with Freddie Gibbs that hard.
I like the album. I like Freddie Gibbs. I wouldn't say like I'm a big Freddie Gibbs fan, but I like that. Alfredo 2 is...
I like Freddie Gibbs, like, in general. I mean, I think, like, I thought Alfredo 1 was also really good. Alfredo 2.
I liked Alfredo 1.
What do you think is better, 1 or 2?
So I was going to get to that, too. I have a hot take. I think the second one's better, but a lot of people I've talked to like the first one better. The first one's a classic. They're both classics, in my opinion. But I really liked Alfredo, too. The song he did with Larry June, the song he did with Jid. Of course, Enchilada is my favorite with Anderson .Paak. But, yeah, I just think that in Alfredo 2, they basically took everything that was great about the first one and delved into it deeper into the second one. Like, I really love Alfredo 2.
I agree with that take, actually. I think that's a fair assessment, honestly. It did feel like, yo, we're all right. That was the warm up. Boom.
Right.
This is our thing. Maybe we'll get Alfredo 3. Who knows?
I heard a rumor that they're working on it because I've seen different like outlets on Instagram talking about it, and I think
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think they were on an interview saying there might be more coming. So
soon? Wow.
We'll see, but I would love an Alfredo 3. I didn't think Alfredo 2 was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see that it happened. So shoot, I don't think it's gonna be out the cards for them.
Yeah, and Freddie Gibbs, I mean, we're always working on music.
Yeah, he is. That's true. They probably have it done. They're probably just picking which ones they want to.
They're picking the date. Maybe it'll be out next week. Who knows?
I feel like he started really coming into his own when he started making the projects with Madlib, and then after that, you just started I feel like he just skyrocketed with his sound. Like I've heard a lot of like samples from his songs, but I really like the fact the way his flow comes out, and even on the Bandana project. I think Half Man, Half Cocaine. I think it was that song. Like how when the beat started to switch and he changed his flow. It's like, wow, this man is incredible.
Yeah, nah. Freddie Gibbs is fire. I fuck with Freddie Gibbs. I mean, I fuck with the whole I fuck with everything that he's doing. I mean, I like he's always down to collab too. I heard that he might be collabing with Ty Dolla $ign too.
Oh man, I would be hot to hear that.
That would be, I think, hot. I think that would be good to do just both of them. Like I don't know. I could see it working. I'm curious. I'm more curious more than anything what it would even sound like.
Me too.
You know?
Me too.
Like that would just be such a. But I don't know. They seem to be down. They seem to be going back and forth or whatever. But I want to ask though about you as well because look, you're from Philly. You come to the city. I want to ask how is the city? You know, you're telling me you're lucky to be here around Christmas time. You know, what are some of your city activities? Coming here, like what did you do in the city?
Like up here in New York?
Yeah.
So what do we do? So we hit Kith first. That's always like the first place I go to. I'll even go there just to get ice cream. Some of the best ice cream I have.
Me too. I go there to get ice cream.
It's so good.
I've never bought clothes from Kith in my life.
Really?
I just go for the ice cream.
Oh my goodness, their ice cream is so good. I'll go there. I'll usually come here like once a month or once every couple months, but I'll go here, hang out around Madison Square Garden, 34th Street, hang up, go up to 5th Ave, Times Square, and then I'll hang in Soho for a little bit. I always go to Upside Pizza, and then every time I come to New York, one of my favorite food spots, Sweet Chicks, always hit it. It's amazing.
I've never even been, and I'm from New York.
I never been to Sweet Chicks.
We should go.
Hey, that could be a trip for us.
Yo, we should go. Yeah.
We should. I mean, let's lock it in, bro. Lock it in.
For sure. Let's lock it in.
That's locked in, and it's gonna happen.
We were talking about this. Hey.
Look, no, I love that. Already sounds fire. What is it, like a chicken, like hot? What is it?
So, it's funny because I actually heard it.
And we're giving promo. Shout out to you if you're in New York. You can pop out.
Shout out to Sweet Chicks, man. One of my favorite food spots. I heard it in one of Nas's songs. He was talking about Brooklyn sweet chick waffles or raspberry butter. So I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Bro's rapping the menu, bro. That's how good he is, bro.
I was like, okay. So I not too long after I heard it, I was like, all right, let me go to Sweet Chicks. I had the chicken and waffles, some of the best chicken and waffles I ever had in my life. So I took my wife there next time we came. I was like, yo, we got to go here. So yeah, we went and got the chicken and waffles together, and she loved it too.
Oh my god, no, I love chicken and waffles.
Yeah, chicken and waffles.
Or the next guy, so I'm totally down to go and all that.
Gosh.
But about your wife too, because I did see that you obviously got married this year. I wanted to ask, how did that affect making? Did that affect making music at all? Did it make it easier? Was it harder? Maybe with balancing time? Like how was that?
I think it made it. Shout out to my wife. I love her to death. It actually to me it was just really finding a balance because it's like now being a married man, it's like I'm making sure my family's good and making sure that she's doing good, making sure that that's a priority, making sure our home life and everything is great. But also finding that time to do music. I don't think it made it harder, it just made me more aware of, hey, I got to balance my time. So So yeah, and even I've made a couple songs about her, and like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just as she's made things easier. She's so supportive of my music,
Mm-hmm.
and every time I make a song in the studio, she wants me to come home and play it.
Mm-hmm.
So then she'll give me her critique on it. So I think it also made, I will say this too, it made things easier because I have a support system.
And like a partner too, almost like
Exactly.
like to be like, oh look, like bounce it off. Shiv, you want to ask any like last question or anything like that?
Yeah, we had talked about it a little bit beforehand, but I wanted to ask for your top 5 albums, so I could listen to them next month. You know, whatever your top 5 is, what you think everybody should listen to. You know, like what you think if I haven't heard it, you're like, you gotta listen to this.
Oh man, that's such a good question. 'Cause I know we talked about like the Clips album. I know we talked about Navy Blue. I was like, I like it's always nice to hear somebody listens to Navy Blue because I just think he's so incredible.
So underrated.
I'm gonna give him a listen.
The Navy Blue album, it's so underrated.
Song of Sage is also one of my favorites from him. So listen to that as well.
I'm a deep dive later tonight.
I like the song he did with Babe Heaven too. Every time I get a new pair of headphones, that's my test. That's my test song to listen to is the Babe Heaven and Navy Blue song.
I always test new music in the car. Like I feel like it's best to listen to new music in the car. So like I'll always listen to whatever music comes out on Fridays. I'll listen to it in the car.
Depends what car you got.
That's
like my car.
That too.
I got the little transmitter in there. You know what I'm saying? The Bluetooth
FM transmitter.
No, but yeah, so Navy Blue, Wale's Everything Is a Lot. That's another honorable mention. I had a couple honorable mentions on my phone too, but trying to think what else could we deep dive into. Any Milksy projects, definitely any of Milksy's projects. What else? Larry June, that's another one of my favorite artists. I know he dropped Life Is Beautiful. He just dropped a new song called The Smooth Kind. That one's really dope. So I'd say check that out. Any other albums I could think of?
What's like your favorite album? Like, of all
Showbiz.
time?
I just saw Mike at Cherry Lane Theater a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Are you serious?
So good.
I gotta see him in person.
The Band of a Century, so good.
Oh my gosh, I gotta see him in person.
We're trying to get Mike on the pod, bro.
Yeah.
Hey man, Mike, shout out to you,
on.
man. Come on the podcast, man.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to Mike about that. Having the live instrumentation, and he's in there rapping. He had everybody get up and move. There's a dance contest in the beginning. Oh my god,
so
dude, such a good show.
Oh, that's so cool. But yeah, like he's got to go. That would be great if he comes on the podcast. He's got to come on.
I would
That'd
love
be
to
dope.
have him talk to Mike.
Man. We were talking. We were like, yo, man, we got some fun guests coming up. Like I said, 2026. That like I'm super excited about. I don't want to say too much because whenever I say it, it don't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So, I'm excited for y'all.
Like,
So-
no, I appreciate you coming on and supporting anything you want to plug, anything coming up that you want to plug, anything like that before we hop out of here.
Hey man, look, I'm just gonna say this now. I'm gonna continue to work with my best friend Deige on new music, man. We're gonna continue to put out new music, continue to feed the streets. Also, I put out my music video for Street Poetry, so check that out. Check out my newest project, my first studio EP, Everything Must Grow. And again, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for having me, man.
Nah,
I
bro.
love coming
Thank
up
you
to
for
New York.
coming on.
Thank you for coming, bro. And like I said, like hearing you talk about New York, it's funny because we live in New York. I feel like we take it for granted, but hearing you talk how you've talked, it makes me think like, damn, yo, we really gotta
explore more.
stop taking it for granted, bro. Like, you know, you guys are talking about, oh, I went to Madison Square Garden and this, that. I'm like, dude, man, I need to get out of Queens, get into the city.
Hey man, we gotta get you to Philly too, man.
Philly trip.
I was planning on going to Philly actually next month, but I don't think I'm gonna go. But I love going to Philly. I'm a Sixers fan.
We'll go another time.
That's dope, man.
I love going to Philly. I went last year actually, and you know I did all the old stuff, like all the historical stuff. I went to all the old buildings.
We should go we should go for like in a month or so. Man.
I'm down. I'm always down to go to Philly, man.
Hey, we got food spots to take y'all to. We can go to the Sixers game. We can do a bunch of things.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
So there's a lot of stuff to do.
Philly pod, bro. We gotta find a studio in Philly. Do a pod. Do the 4-way pod. We were
Hey,
trying.
come on through.
Before we were trying to get Deige on the pod, but little technical difficulties here that prevented it. But shout out Deige.
Yeah, we could do it in Philly.
Yeah, guys, that'll come out hopefully 2026 as well. So thank you guys. Thank you for obviously coming on. Thank you all that.
Thank you.
Go stream the EP. All right, it's on Apple Music, on all streaming platforms. I listen to Apple Music, but
Yes, sir.
all streaming platforms, guys. I'm Jack the Chiv, and we'll see you. Peace out, guys.